Okay, if you're watching this video, you almost certainly know who Nick Bare is. Nick Bare was in the Army. He started a supplement company, blew up with that, recently did some endurance sports, has really become pretty advanced with that. He even recently stepped on stage in a physique show. You probably don't know who I am. Hi, I'm Dave. I worked in the fitness industry for 15 years as a trainer, as a gym owner. I have done lots of lifting in the past, so we're talking lots of Olympic lifting, powerlifting, strength sports. I also did a physique competition, and aside from that, I've really gotten into endurance sports in the last, say, 5 years or so. If you want to learn a bit more about my background, you could check out the intro video I did for the channel, where I go into that a little bit more. But I'm Dave, and this is Dave Does. So lots of lifting, some running. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, me and Nick are pretty much the same. So aside from Nick being a complete genetic freak, or we'll say very well supplemented, and about 10 years younger than I am, we're pursuing lots of the same things when it comes to fitness and have lots of similar points of view. So I figured, why not take this as a great opportunity to be lazy about my programming and let Nick take care of that for me. He seems to be in halfway decent shape, so I thought, hey, why not give it a shot? I don't have any races or competitions coming up, so my programming is completely free. Have some fun and just do whatever. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's do this. One hybrid athlete coming up. So I'm now officially halfway through the program. I'm halfway through week 6 as we speak. Done the morning workout, gotta hit the afternoon lift in a bit. I'll definitely do a final video when I'm completed with the program, which is a 12-week program. So at its core, the hybrid athlete program is really just kind of common sense fitness, right? You're doing some strength training, you're doing some cardio, only it is cranked up to 11. Right? So think David Goggins, not Richard Simmons. So you're going to be lifting 3 times a week. The lifting template is just set up like a push-pull leg split, so pretty basic stuff. There's core sprinkled in pretty generously throughout the program. Lots of ab work, which is probably something I could work on. For running, you're doing 3 runs a week. You're doing 2 base building runs and 1 speed day with tempo runs, threshold runs, intervals, stuff like that. But that's the basic template of the program. So what is so extreme about that? Sounds pretty normal, right? Well, let's jump into it. First, let's talk lifting. So this programming has a lot of volume for lifting, especially if you're newer to lifting. Hundreds of pressing reps each workout, going to failure multiple times. Same thing with lots of the dominant movement patterns. So here's some thoughts on one of the recent workouts I did. Okay, we just finished first lift of the week for week 5. It took over an hour to finish. So it's a long workout, and just the volume in it is pretty intense. There's a whole lot of chest pressing, right? So today was core and pressing. So obviously there's lots of press movements. 4 sets of incline dumbbell press at a perceived effort of 9 with a drop set after. Hit some shoulders after, right? So lateral raise and then front raise. So again, hitting anterior delts, right? So both exercises so far I've hit delts. After that, you go into push-ups. We're getting 4 sets of 20 push-ups. If I'm brave enough to show some of this footage, I failed miserably towards the end. I don't know, hitting 80 push-ups after going to failure with pressing is pretty tough, especially, I mean, if you're trying to stick to the prescribed rest periods, right? So that was 90 seconds in between the sets of push-ups. Oh, by the way, after you hit your 20 push-ups, you're doing close grip presses on a med ball. So I never med ball, so I used the kettlebell, but it's the same exact thing, right? So you're doing 20, then going to failure, then 90 seconds later, supposed to bang out another 20. I just thought there was a ton of volume with chest and with pressing today between the incline and the push-ups, but it's day 30 down. I think it was day 20 or workout 28 with 48 left to go. So we are not quite halfway, but we're getting there. So the workouts pretty much rotate in like an A-B week format. So you're always doing pull-ups on back days, but you're deadlifting every other week. You're always doing squats and walking lunges on legs days, but you're barbell benching every other week, and so on and so forth. So some of the main lifts rotate, some are key and they're in every single week, but there is some variety with the exercises. There's also a little bit of variability in the rep prescriptions. So on some weeks you're doing just straight sets. On some weeks there's drop sets and AMRAP sets thrown in. So there's, again, a little bit of variety with that. But even with that little bit of variability from week to week with the workouts, the amount of volume in each workout itself is very high. So if you're a newer lifter, I wouldn't be surprised if you develop some sort of joint aches or overuse injuries. I recently watched another video of someone who went through this program who was newer to working out. They did it with some friends, and they said that every single one of them had dropped out by week 3 because they got some sort of injury. So it definitely could happen if you're newer to lifting. So, and this is hybrid 1. So I don't know if that means a hybrid 2 is coming, but don't think of it as like a 101 level workout program. It definitely is not that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about my own experience with the lifting portion of the program. So I work out in my garage. I don't have access to all the equipment used in the program, but with so many years of gym experience, I could pretty much always make appropriate substitutions. But if you don't have much equipment, this isn't a home program, and you will need to be at a gym. Okay, now let's talk about the running portions of the program. It's pretty simple. Each week so far in the first 6 weeks has been roughly the same. You're going to be doing 2 runs at MAF, which is maximum aerobic function, which is just taking 180, subtracting your age, and using that as a heart rate target. These are just kind of your base building runs. You're going to be a little bit over zone 2, easy runs, 45 minutes to start. Now they're at an hour, and I looked forward in the program. They don't go higher than an hour. I'll be honest, on those, I didn't bother to follow the workouts that are in the app because it's just a consistent heart rate for a specific period of time. So it's just easier for me to turn on the watch and just use that as a guide. So the best value of the entire program come with the speed workouts, right? The more programmed running workouts. They have different paces programmed in for different mileage, different times, and you can just one-touch send that from the app to the Garmin app. So if you have a Garmin watch, you're in luck. If you don't, then, well, you have some more manual work to do. So it was really cool to have pre-made workouts sent over and not have to kind of do all that manual work and just one and done. It's really simple. However, I have to be honest, even that part of it, which was the most promising aspect, was not without its issues as well. So not all of the workouts had issues. Like I said, I'm 6 weeks in. I've been using just the speed workouts to send to my app, and right now 2 out of the 6 have had issues. So check this out. Okay, so we just finished doing our tempo run for the day. Was a 5 miler. We're in week 5, and we definitely have some issues with the app here. This is the second week in a row where a rest interval was just instantly calculated. So it was supposed to be a half-mile run was took like a second, and I thought maybe, hey, it's just something wrong with the way the workout's entered, no problem. but it messes up something with the watch GPS. So, I mean, I'll show the Connect IQ app in a second. And basically, I mean, right when I finished the run, it said it was the fastest 5K I'd ever done with a 17.5-minute time. I would love if that was true, but it definitely isn't. So it definitely messes with the GPS in some fashion. So having workouts sent over is fantastic and convenient, but since they're sent from out of the app, you actually can't see the steps within the Garmin app, which is, that's just how it is, but you don't really know if they're being sent over properly. And like I said, I had issues in 2 of them. So now I'm at the point where I can't actually trust the workouts that come in, which is kind of a bummer. You don't want to be in the middle of running intervals, all of a sudden it says workout completed, and that just kind of ruins your workout. So to check to make sure the workouts are done properly, you actually have to load them on your watch first, start an activity. When it shows the workout that you have planned, because you just sent it, you have to go and say view steps, and you have to look at each interval and make sure it matches up with what's in the BPN app, and that's actually going to be your workout. So it kind of takes the ease out of this one touch send the workout, because you have to kind of babysit and double check that you're actually getting the workout right. So, I mean, like I said, I don't have any races coming up. If I was using this for race prep, I would be double checking everything all the time, because the running workouts are the whole point if you're using it for race prep. So yeah, it's convenient to send them, but pretty inconvenient to have to double check on everything. Okay, so let's summarize Hybrid Athlete 1 from Nick Bare and BPN. So first, there's the premise and the template are both good. Right, a push-pull leg split is okay for most lifters, although if you're newer, you should probably do less volume and more frequency. Think something like a full body 3 times per week with some basic compound movements as the core of your lifting. I also like that the workout days include the entire weekend off. So you're on Monday through Friday, you're off Saturday, Sunday. It gives some leeway to make up workouts if you missed any, or if you wanted to throw in some extra volume, some extra cardio, then you could do that on the weekends as well. So I was able to just go for some relaxing runs or bike rides without worrying about tempo or distance, and it was relaxing. I enjoyed that aspect, to just add in a few carefree miles on the weekend. So overall, I'd give the template and structure a 4 out of 5, right? The overall premise of hybrid athlete, lifting, running, it's a good one. The different days, pretty good. So now let's talk about the actual programming. As I mentioned earlier, the lifting volume is way too high for a lot of people. Your risk of injury is going to be higher with so many repetitive movements. In addition, the warm-ups included in the workouts are very basic. It's like some shoulder rotations or some air squats. I know the focus of the app is to deliver free workouts, promote the BPN supplements, let's be real, but it's fine. It's a free app. You can only expect so much, but adding in another dynamic warm-up exercise or muscle activation wouldn't have been too much effort. I think that is kind of missing in the programming. As far as running, I think the programming for running it's really fine. The volume isn't too high, and I think I mentioned before, I peeked ahead to the second half of the workout, and there are a few long runs coming up, some 12-mile or 15-mile, so I'm kind of looking forward to those. But overall, I think they're pretty good. So I give the programming here a 3 out of 5 for running. Okay, so finally, let's talk about the app. You can't get the program without running the app, right? Overall, the app is very basic, right? But let's remember this is a supplement company that is putting out a free app. There's a bunch of content in it. And overall, I mean, the point of the app is to kind of get you in that BPN culture. Hopefully you buy some supplements, and that's fine. You know, for what it is, it delivers a lot of content and a lot of value. So I can't blame them for not putting too much investment into the functionality of the app. As I mentioned, I had multiple issues with the app not accepting weight values during workouts, needing to restart it. I already mentioned some of the problems with the programming of the running workouts and having to double check all of the running workout programming. So overall, I think I give the app a 3 out of 5, and that's for the hybrid program. I haven't done any of the actual dedicated running programs. Maybe they're great, maybe the workouts are perfect, but that's my experience with the hybrid program. So who's the Hybrid Athlete program for? I struggle a bit with this one as I really don't see this as a good program for someone starting off and looking to get in shape. The volume of running and lifting in that instance would be too high for someone, probably lead to burnout or injury. And for that same reason, I wouldn't recommend it to a runner looking to get into strength training because the volume of the lifting, again, is too heavy. So I think the ideal person that would benefit from the Hybrid Athlete program is someone that is pretty experienced with lifting and has a good base of cardio and kind of wants to build on that and is kind of will live in both worlds. Someone like that would be able to handle the volume of lifting, and as I've mentioned, the volume of running is not too bad as long as you have some sort of a base. So what do you think? Are you a hybrid athlete? Do you go one more? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think I nailed it? Have you had good experience with the program, bad experience with the program? Let me know what you think. Oh, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, then thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video and hear my thoughts on this. Thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the content a lot, then consider subscribing. I have lots of good fitness content coming up on the channel. I'm Dave. This is Dave Does. Have an awesome day and stay fit.